Alright, so I wanted to do a follow-up on my Jonah Mitchell's Not the New York Ripper video. In that video, I played this clip of Detective Claudette.
I have been investigating the Ripper since I joined the force.
And with that, I pointed out that the actor's 48, so the character's probably in her mid to late 40s and more than likely joined the police force when she was in her 20s. Now, we don't really have a timeline established for anything. I've seen people say that the Ripper hasn't killed in 5 years. I don't know where that came from. I missed it. So if you know exactly where it came from, go ahead and point out in the comments and I'll try to find that. The only thing that I heard was her say this.
But this case is unusual because the New York Ripper stopped killing years ago, and yet his crimes continue to cause harm.
And then Prater said this.
This was the New York Rippers, a man who terrorized the streets I once played on as a child. Highly prolific, never caught.
Now we know that this takes place in 2022 based off the tags on the cars and also right on Dexter's driver's license. So with it being 2022 and the earliest that Jonah would get to New York City would be late 2011, maybe early 2012. It gives us a time frame of 10 years, but we also don't know when the killing stopped, or I didn't catch the 5-year thing. So again, if you saw that, go ahead and point it out in the comments and I'll find it. Now, based off the slides that she shows, I think that the clothes look more dated. I think they look a couple decades old at least. And I had to crop them because it wouldn't accept the violence, but I asked AI on a couple of them and this is what it said. And of course I understand that AI isn't 100% factual. It isn't the end all be all. I'm just trying to gather as much information any way I can. And when she plays these voicemails, I can definitely understand why people say it sounds like Brando Eaton. I hear it. They're not off base there. But I think it's more personal. I think it's more connected. I believe that she is the sister that the voicemail was left for.
A message he left for the sister of a victim.
She thought she could run. She didn't have anywhere to go in that shitty little house of hers. All she could do was cower in her own bed, your sweet little sister, hiding under that flimsy quilt. Bet that was a gift from Grandma, huh? That's why I took it off her before I ripped her open. Wouldn't want to get blood all over Grandma's quilt. Man, you should have heard your sister begging me to just kill her.
So after that, maybe she did join the police force when she was in her 30s, or maybe she joined when she was in her 20s and he targeted her specifically because she had been investigating so long. I've seen some theories for her partner, Aliva. I thought that for a little while. I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into it since, but either way, I think it's more connected to Claudette than it is Dexter. I'm not too much of a fan of the Jonah Mitchell theory, as you could tell. I've said in my other videos that I accept the laziness of this season, the writing, just moving the plot along. But I think that would be too much of a reach, too much of a stretch, lack too much logic. 10 years for him to become some mastermind, evasive serial killer, and I guess he stopped for a certain amount of years. We don't know how many years that is, and I've seen that Brando Eaton's been having fun with it by sharing fan-made clips and making little videos on his Instagram and stuff, his stories. He can't confirm nor deny, and he's like, oh, I just got back from New York City, what's everybody talking about, this and that. That would violate an NDA if he were to hint towards it in any capacity. Anything that could ruin or spoil, would violate an NDA. And I'm assuming that he signed an NDA if he's involved because he's not mentioned anywhere on the casting. And studios don't mess around with this type of stuff. But if you disagree, that's totally cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. And again, if you know where that 5-year statement came from, go ahead and post that as well, and I'll try to find it. So either way, thanks for stopping by.